made a promise, but for many of us, we have not received the promise. He said, I am going to prepare a place for you. But many of us do not really believe that. Now one of the things that our text reveals about the disciples is that they did not believe Jesus because of their own agenda, their own purpose for following him. So the question that comes to us this morning, why do you come to church? Why have you accepted Christ? Why are you a Christian? Why do you say that you believe in God? Now, if you were to examine the truth, some of us are here because that's all we know. It's a tradition. It's a routine. It's a lifestyle that we believe ought to be lived and followed. Some of us have accepted Christ primarily because we're scared that we go there. Some of us have accepted Christ because we're not sure what's going to happen after death. Some of us accept Christ because we want him to be our personal bodyguard. We want him to be our personal agent. We want him to be our personal servant. God, go by the hospital. Touch this person or touch that person. Or God, go by the prison wall. And do this and do that. We're always trying to treat God like an errand boy. You know that? Think about it. We want God to do something for us. And we would say, well, he said, come boldly before the throne of grace. We would say, he said, cast your cares on me because I care for you. We would quote all kinds of scripture to justify our treating God like an errand boy. But the truth is, we cannot receive the promise of Jesus as long as we are blocked by our own personal interests and desires. Look at what they said to Jesus. You tell us you're going to prepare a place for us, but we don't know where you're going. So how do we know how to get there? They missed the point. Jesus was telling them all along, what? I am the way. I am the one who came to deliver you. I am the deliverer. I am your salvation. I have come to rescue you. But you see, as long as we want him to rescue rescue us the way we want him to rescue us, then we are satisfied. But when he demands of us to behave the way he wants us to behave, it's a totally different story. One of the problems with a lot of quote-unquote Christians, believers, is that we want God to conform to our demands and our desires. And that's what was wrong with the disciples. They couldn't hear what Jesus was saying because their minds were crowded by what they wanted. So, if we're going to receive the promise of Jesus, then we are going to have to let go of our personal interests and desires. We just say, I give myself away so you could use me. But as soon as there's a personal interest on our part, we forget that we said, I give myself away so you can use me, and we say, I put that on hold so I can do what I want to do. And I believe, brothers and sisters, that one of the biggest barriers to us having a relationship with Jesus Christ, and one of the biggest barriers to us going to heaven, has to do with the fact that we can't let go of who we are. That is such a barrier. And that's why God is such a merciful God that sometimes he lets the people linger for a while. You wonder, why is this person lingering so long? But God can give you time to get your hands together, get yourself. Because if he just cuts you off, you'll be lost. Right? So, now is the time, brothers and sisters, now is the time for us to look at how we behave. Who am I? What do I do? And what does this mean? You see, for me when I was growing up, I didn't do a lot of analyzing. And so, one of the things that I did, and I look back on it, and some of the things I did, I look back and call it stupid, foolish, ignorant. I look back at some things I do and say, and I say, my God, how could I? Because a lot of things were not done with an openness to the Spirit of God, and therefore, you see, what happened really was that I was blocked by my own agenda. A revelation came forth. We were looking over some programs from services where Daddy was honored and what was said about him. And in one of them, my brother had written that I used to carry the statue. When I was small, we didn't know how to call it right. We used to say statue. But I used to carry Daddy's statue. And when I looked at it, my